we have a similar document, which I think probably a lot of you guys have already seen, where this is similar, but it's from Adam Shea. So this was the export like from his project management software that he shared with us, where this is what would get delegated to a team member that when they would start a business tax preparation. So you can kind of see all the steps that they go through. And I know when I started doing this kind of work, I would have been like, oh my gosh, I wish I could get my hands on something like this. So we're trying to, like I said in the last meeting, we had a mentor meeting with the other mentors, and even they were saying like, we need to do a better job of showing people where the resources are. So definitely encourage us to do that as we go through these meetings, because we have a lot of stuff, but we want to make sure you guys can get to it, and be able to put it to use in your real business and for your real clients. So I would definitely grab those two documents if you have not. And then I think there's the man right there. There's the man.
I'm back.
He's got the solution to all of our problems.
I do. And I'm back.
At the very least, you're back.
Hospital. I did not change my out of office for the beginning of January to be I'm currently in the hospital. I didn't think that would bode well for tax season.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Good.
One of those things you read about in the news, like a scratch gets infected and then it went haywire. 2 days, antibiotics, IV antibiotics and everything. And then I think I caught up on about a year's worth of sleep in 2 days, to be honest. No kids, pot roast. It wasn't a bad deal.
Pot roast. Well, we're glad you're all right, man. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, my apologies for everybody for last week, such short notice. So, and that's where too those have contingency plans when you have kids, because I drove myself to the hospital Saturday night and because the kids were already asleep. So the one good thing though is when I got out of the hospital Monday night, my truck was out there. So it was like leaving your car at the airport. Like you're stoked when you get back because your car's there and you can just drive home. And so I got home Monday night, so it was good.
You're really looking at the bright side, Darren. I like this.
Yeah. And so, but that being said, make sure you got backup. Things happen during tax season, everything else. So, that's why having somewhat of staff is important. If you don't have any staff, at least even somebody to answer the telephone and tell people what to do, because the world kept moving even without me here. So that's kind of an important thing. But that being said, I've got some good beneficial ownership information today for you guys. And I think that kind of coincides some with Andy with the S Corp stuff. And then anything question-wise on it. So I know 2 weeks ago, we went off kind of on a tangent. So I'm going to hop right into the BOIR stuff and beneficial ownership information and go from there. And then we'll be able to answer everybody's questions and everything. So what I did was I actually got one of my clients on the phone. And so that the thing is, and that's where, Andy, give me your take on this. I don't even really see it as something we can charge for. It's not that hard. It's like 2 pages. It's just confusing is what it boils down to. And you have to, the other thing too, as far as preparing it for people, you do have to upload IDs, things of that nature. So it's kind of a pain to get that information from your client and everything else. But that being said, so I logged in. You don't even have to log in. Let me pull it up here. Which one is it on? There we are. So there's 2 ways you can do it. There's an online version and a PDF version. So make sure your clients see that in the beginning, and that if they click the first thing that's there, it makes you download a PDF to fill out. So you actually got to go to the second box to click on fill it out online. And so, or else they get roped into this whole long PDF thing. Number 2, I think practice wise, one of the big things out here is just making sure your clients are aware of this and to beware of the scams. So twofold on that one, they've already created a bunch of fake websites to fill this information out. There's a lot of spam going out for people to fill this thing out for them. And then there's the fake websites that are just collecting the information and or charging to do it. And it's basically all based around fear from what I can see. They're basically like, if you don't do this right now, you're going to get a $500 a day penalty. And I already had one client who he created an LLC January 1, and I just sent him the link to FinCEN and said, hey, go for it. And he had no problem. I mean, he knocked it out in 10 minutes. So it's kind of one of those things too, is like you can harness going through charging people for this, or if the people figure out that it literally takes like 2 seconds, they might not be too thrilled. So what I wanted to show you was I actually went into it. Let me pull it up right here. Okay, is this showing up? Can everybody see that? Okay, so on the first page, is that, let me see here. Did that go to my calendar?
Yes, we see your calendar now.
Okay, cool. So here's the one big one is anything you send out, it has to go to fincen.org. The problem is, or no, sorry, if you type in FinCEN, it tries to go to fincen.org, which is actually a spam Trojan horse website, which is great. Yeah, but it's fincen.gov. And then they have a BOI homepage. So this is the link that I'm using here, which is as prepare and then file. And then file a report using the system. One of the questions is it asks you for a FinCEN ID? So they'll get one after they fill it out. And so by checking the box, beneficial ownership information, report upon submission, then they'll get their FinCEN ID. So here's where, out of here. So back to, you're on the page, report. So they can create a FinCEN ID first with a login.gov and everything, or they can just go right to it. Beneficial ownership reporting, get started. See, here's where they get you, file PDF or file online. And then when you click submit, so here's where it starts. And then filing information. See, there's only a couple of tabs. So for, you know, unless they have like 9 entities owned by other entities, things of that nature, there might be some people that you need to do some stuff. But if it's just an S Corp client, LLC client, things of that nature, it's initial report, date filed, request to receive FinCEN ID. It gives it to you at the end, company name, tax ID number. Then it asks United States, California, address. Then here's what gets me is existing reporting company. So if you click this, it blocks all this out. Now the company is actually a reporting company, but it says check if existing reporting company as of January 1. Now, to me, this means, and that's where anybody else that has gone through this chime in, is that the company already existed. So these are the ones that have the due date of the end of the year. Then it blocks out all the company applicant information, because when you go to beneficial owner, then here it asks for all the same exact information. So as far as I can tell from filing information, their initial company, They want to get the FinCEN ID just for going forward. Reporting company legal name is here. ID is here. They already existed. And then they just fill out the beneficial owner here. And if it's an individual's name or entity's legal name. So that's where if you get into LLCs that own corps and things of that nature. And then they want an actual uploaded document. So I think this is where you might be getting into legal territory because it's verifying. And see here is I'm certifying that I'm authorized to file this BOR on behalf of this reporting company. I don't know if there's a way an accountant can get authorization that you'd be authorized to file this because it's not.
Excuse me, Darren?
Yes. Yeah, go right ahead. Jump in if you got a question.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so reporting company, meaning that they are on the public exchange. And the BOI, I believe, is for small businesses with 20 or fewer employees. Am I wrong with that? And the reason why the reporting company, if you're a reporting company, then they're going to divert you to that other stuff. And if you're just small business doing your BOI, which is the new requirement, then I think that's, I mean, feel free to jump in and say no.
Yeah, so as far as reporting companies go.
Yes, doesn't that indicate that they are filing on the exchange and such like that? Because reporting companies, they don't do the BOI. The C Corps and the over 20 employees or what have you. Right?
Yeah. So I thought that a reporting company was so what companies will be required to report beneficial ownership information? Companies required to report are called reporting companies. I thought pretty much everybody's a reporting company. Domestic reporting companies are corporations, limited liability companies, and any other entities created by the filing of a document with a Secretary of State or similar office in the United States. That's a reporting company.
But okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Let me jump in here real quick because I tried to, when this first came out, I tried to do a training video, or I did a training video on, and I went through it myself to like file my own things just to use myself as a guinea pig, that kind of thing. And if you guys look in the chat there, I had a lot of confusion around this same thing, the what's a reporting company and item 16 or whatnot. So I pasted in the instructions. I think with this form, it's really important to go off the instructions from that are embedded in the form. Like Darren, if you hover over any of the items, it tries to give you like the instructions and then, to be able to reference that, because I have a feeling this is the kind of thing that's going to change, it's like going to be amended, whatever. Right. So like, especially if you're doing this professionally as a service, like to document how you arrived at how you did it, or that whole kind of thing. Right. But if you read this explanation that actually Catherine Smith, one of our, she told me that I was wrong, which I definitely took very personally, and it really hurt my feelings. But then after that, I was like, okay, this could be helpful. But so it says here, and I'm reading this, and I don't know if this is one of these word salad things where it might mean something or it might not, but it says item 16, existing reporting company instructions, existing reporting company, check this box if the reporting company was created or registered before January 1st, 2024. Do not check the box if the reporting company was created or registered on or after January 1st, 2024.
See, and that's an or. So if you were created or registered, so if they were already created back in 2023, they should check this box as an existing company, correct?
That's what I mean, is like, I can't tell if those words are, do they mean something? Or is it...
this one blocks out the company applicant and takes it straight to the beneficial owner if you check that box.
Like as in for Schedule C, because they're not,
Well, Schedule C doesn't even have to file. So
what
If
does
they
that
have-
mean by blocking out the company applicant, Darren? What do you think that what does that mean in reality world, do you think?
this is where it is interesting because it asks for the same information as the beneficial owner, like
Right.
to a T.
Right.
It wants individual, which is interesting because company applicant, it asks for individual name, date of birth, in your driver's license.
Yeah. But don't you feel like the company applicant is like, say I'm going to do this for my client. Am I the company applicant because I'm applying on behalf of my client?
I don't know. I think it goes toward. No, I think it. No, I don't think it's like the company applicant is not like a third party of that company, because existing reporting company, because your company may have existed, but if you're filing this for them now, but you've never filed with them, so that's where I'm trying to go over this with everybody so we can get all the questions out of the way, to try to actually go through it so that we can point you guys totally in the right direction. But because clients are going to have questions on this. But as far as I can see, this would be, and I'm going to confirm this though, is that this would be an existing company. They fill out the beneficial owner statement and then they're done.
Right. Okay. So existing company, you mean an entity. So say I formed an LLC in 2023, in June of 2023.
Correct.
I'm going to check that box because I'm considered to have been created
prior to 1/1/24.
Okay.